billions of dollars to prepare ourselves, to try and fight Al-Qaeda on the shores and terrorism and other despots in Afghanistan and Iraq. The cost has been enormous, but this nation remains stronger than ever before. Terrorism has no boundaries. It has no boundaries. But this nation will succeed, and I am privileged to be in a position today to try and make those decisions, which I'll address momentarily, to keep America strong and to follow the rule of law, whether it's the Geneva Conventions or in the trials that are about to take place to redress great wrongs. We are a nation of a rule of law and will always be that way. It's important. But you face a one-world market today, unlike my day when America dominated. You couldn't even look behind you and see nations that were scurrying and rushing to catch up to the dynamic economic engine of that time. But with the education you have today, with the enthusiasm that you have, you will go out. And even though there's a 24-hour news cycle and the internet and instant global communications creating this one-world market, you will succeed in keeping America strong economically. Yes, it is a far more complex world today. And as was mentioned, I got into the Tag M as a young trainee of World War II. And that generation is called the greatest generation, but here today I pronounce to you, your graduates today will make America even greater, and you will be a greater generation. Crossing your mind is the thought of how do we do it? And I select the two pillars of strength for me, and I hope there'll be strength for you. First, education. We must try in every way and let there be no restriction on America's investment in education to make it stronger. I think of Mr. Jefferson's view that universal education is society's, quote, crusade against ignorance. It's embodied in our founding principles of a public education for all our citizens. In this new century, these words are never more true. We must expand our horizons to make education the most powerful force for positive change around the world. Stop to think of that. You know, I checked the other day. In the Arab world, 65 million adults, including half of the women, are illiterate. Less than 2% of the Arab population has access to the internet. The time has come that education must be exported beyond our shores in such a way to bring about peace, and that can be done. Education can be a far more powerful weapon for peace than all of the armaments in the world. I now turn to the second pillar that has stood me so well. It might surprise you in ways. But in my profession, which I have now been in these 26 years, and elsewhere in public life, there's great temptation. If you were to ask me of the saddest moments that I've ever endured in these many years in the Senate, it was those 2 to 3 occasions when all 100 senators went into the chamber